God, okay. It's been some time since I've used English properly, so please bear with me. And I'll be explaining my experience of this time's becoming a monk. So becoming a monk is very easy. However, being a monk is very difficult. You may have seen some monk outside. What they've been doing, they look like they've been living an easy life. You get food served to you every day in the morning. You get food served to you at lunch, and you probably don't have to do anything by yourself at all. However, there are many bad stuff that comes with it. If you are a monk, there are the good perks where you get merits when you do the correct thing. But if you don't do the correct things properly, what you get may not be merits, but the, sins that go with you to the next life. So when becoming a monk, you have to be very careful with what you do. A few examples of the things that we need to keep in mind, the rules. There are officially 227 rules you have to keep as a monk. That's 227 rules. So yeah, it may not sound much, but some rules are as easy as not killing, which is pretty easy. But some rules such as not laughing out loud, not eating with spoons, or maybe not even going to the toilet, you have to sit. You cannot stand going to the toilet. So it's very difficult being a monk. Even eating, you have to use your hand. If you've seen some monk, they've been doing some wrong things, such as using spoon or forks. That's not the correct way to eat. You have to use your hands. And you don't get to pick the food that comes to you. I've had noodles before with my hands, and well, they're not good experiences. But I can say that overall, this experience as a monk is very different. If you do it the correct way, it's not easy at all. But you get the merits that comes with it. So I'm not discouraging anyone from becoming a monk. It's a good chance for everybody. And you may not be a Buddhist, or you may be, but I've seen places where the Buddha was born. I've seen footprints. I've seen real castles. I've seen real temples that were built just for him. And areas that was mentioned in the recordings. So pretty much of everything I've seen so far are real. And I don't believe that everyone was born equal. I believe that everybody was born different, and there's a reason for that, there's a cause for that. So depending on what you think. However, I just want to emphasize that if you're prepared to become a monk, or you plan to become one, to repay as a kind of repaying to your parents, or even for yourself, it's not easy. And you need to be prepared. India is not a good place if you are not prepared. They use, they're still in chariots, if you know what I talk about, just like in the Caesar times. They're still riding on horses in most places, and cars are usually not oftenly seen, pretty much rare. The roads, there's only one lane each, one way, for everywhere, even near closest cities or anywhere else, and they still use ox as a main transportation. Yeah, and electricity is not supplied properly. So as an experience this time, it's pretty tough, but if you do have a chance, really try it. I encourage everyone here as a male to try it out. But you're smiling, so I'm guessing you won't. But just a suggestion, if in time you want to try it. We have another one of our international friends who actually tried it, but he stopped, he disrobed. Disrobed หมายถึงศึกนะครับศึก before he reached Thailand. Up to some time he couldn't stand it anymore, and he stopped before us. So I'm just saying that it's very difficult, and his background's pretty international. Sometimes you can't even stare when females, when you talk, it's not correct, not too long at least. Most of the time, if you end up staring at someone, you have to quickly look down, stare down. So to avoid any type of eye contact, I stare down most of the time, which is very difficult as, well, overall we're curious about what we see and what we do. So it's very difficult. Just to send off last word difficult. ประมาณนี้ครับ